So, often in programming, you'll be given a list of requirements from a user, and you'll have to build a program based on these user requirements. You might have heard this term before. So I'm going to give you now a list of requirements, and I'm going to test the skills that you've learnt so far, using all the skills that you've covered this lesson and in previous ones. So let's take a look at what a list of requirements looks like. So this is the third task that I want you to take part in, but I'm going to go over it first and explain it in detail so you understand what you're doing. So here I've got a list of requirements, and you can see here that each bullet point is a requirement of your program. So the overall gist is, I want you to ask the user what their favourite TV show is and store it in a variable. So you know how to do that by creating a variable and using input. And what I want you to do there is create if statements that make use of elif statements in your program. So we've just covered how to use elif statements and how to add additional options in your program via that menu choice example I showed you. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do, the first if statement is, if the user responds with the Mandalorian, then the program should print, "That's a great choice, I love Baby Yoda." Then the second option should be, if the user responds with Stranger Things, the program should respond with, "Great choice, I can't wait for next season." The third option is, if the user responds with WandaVision, the program should say, "That show is really weird." Else, the program should say, "I have not seen that show." So what I want you to do is build a program that matches all of these requirements. So you should have one if statement, two elif statements, and then one else statement, and you can build your program from there. Please pause here to complete the task if you understand it. However, if you don't, I will be going over it in a little bit more detail to give you a little bit extra help, and I'll walk you through the first example here. Okay, so you've unpaused because you are struggling with the task. So what I want you to do is move over to create with code, and then I will walk you through how to start building this program. So the first requirement was to ask the user what their favorite TV show is. So I'm going to create a variable called TV show, and then equals, and then I want them to input, so I'm going to write input, and then I'm just going to put TV show in there just to keep it short as the prompt. And then I'm going to start my if statement, because my first requirement was to check if the user entered the Mandalorian. So I'm going to say if TV show equal to, and then remember your speech marks, the Mandalorian. So remember, if I move back to the PowerPoint, we can see here that the first requirement was the Mandalorian. So we know now that if the user enters the Mandalorian, it's going to print, maybe semicolon, print, speech marks, and then it was something about Baby Yoda. And then I would need to move on because I've got a second requirement to meet, so I would use an elif statement, and that's where I'm going to stop, because from here you should be able to finish off the rest of this program. If you can't, just post a message in the Teams chat and I will walk you through how to do that. So remember, if we move back over to the presentation, I've just shown you how to meet that first requirement along with asking the user about the favourite TV show. And you will need to finish off this program by seeing if it matches Stranger Things and WandaVision, or if it matches none of those, say, "I have not seen that show." Okay, so pause here and please complete the task. Okay, so you completed that task, let's move on. Okay, so hopefully you've completed all the tasks from this video. What you'll need to do now is, if you have still got time left in the lesson, please move on to the second part of this video that contains some extension work on things like data types and how to expand your conditional statements. So please make sure that you are moving on to that video now. Otherwise, please finish off the tasks in this lesson. Remember, you can ask for help or support in the Teams chat or lesson. Thanks for watching.